Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, guys, and welcome to Footy Judgment. It's your Friday show. It's preview of the weekend. Of course, I'm here with a fantastic panel. Of course, we'll talk about the North London Derby. Dio and Patrick are here. Patrick, first time on the channel, I believe. Welcome to Footy Judgment. Chatty Patty is here.
I'm here with the judge, the jury, and the executioner, Mo himself. I can't wait, man. It's crazy that we've done so many streams, but I've not been on your channel yet, which is insane. But best time to have me right before North London Derby.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to chopping it up. Looking forward to it.
Yes. And Dio is here with us. Of course, Dio, welcome as always. And the guy that actually, guys, did the intro. The intro you have seen on your screen. If you want an intro, this is your guy. Dio is the guy. Right, the one that does everything. Is not only for myself. A lot of the intros you see, you like, is actually Dio's work. So Dio, what a talented guy, of course, is not only talented on the screen but also behind the screen. Absolutely brilliant guy. Dio, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to take it a little easy today because, as you can see, I had surgery yesterday, and yeah, the tooth pulled out, and I haven't. I'm good. No, I'm good. For this North London Derby, they can remove all my teeth. I will come and speak. I will come speak.
I was gonna say, hopefully that will shut him up, man. Hopefully.
And also, of course, we'll be joined by Nina. Of course, we'll talk all things Chelsea. We'll talk everything that you guys like. But she will be, sorry, like for the people that joined from Saeed TV, make sure to like, subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Yes, I was a little bit quiet on Saeed's stream. There was something going on in the background with my mic and stuff on the background until it was fixed. The stream was over. Apologies that I didn't give the full attention to Saeed and the stream. There was something going on in the background. Everything is fine now. Everything is well. But listen, she's here.
I'm so sorry. I've had like such a nightmare with my laptop. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the 5-0 people are here, of course. The 5-0 people are here. Absolutely brilliant people, of course. The Londoners with 4s from Newcastle, 5s from Arsenal.
Absolutely. Chill.
Bro, I gotta say that. Bro, I'm sorry. Been waiting for her to join for about a month now. And she joined at the wrong time. She literally joined at the wrong time. She could have joined when they won games, when they're climbing the table. But it's her luck. It's her luck, to be honest. It's her luck. But listen, people, if you're here now, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And there's only one place to start, which is, I think before we go to the North London Derby, I know there's a lot of talk about Liverpool and Man City and all the stuff. But I want to start with Chelsea since we got Nina here with us. What is going on? Now the players are backing the coach. Now the players are publicly, like the journalists saying that they're backing your manager now. Is that what is happening? How can a player back the manager after a 5-0? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think from the start, the players made it clear that they like working with Poch. I know to the fans that has always sounded insane, but the players have always said that they really like Poch. And we've seen it, like a lot of them have come out and said that, they've built a good relationship with him. Like he's gotten to know them on a personal level. He trains well with them. And as fans, we only see what's on the pitch, but actually what's going on in training, in one-to-one time, in fitness time, they've obviously built a close relationship. And again, because we're not seeing a lot of output on the pitch, for us it just seems like everything's shambles. But I'm not surprised that the players have said that. I've said it for a long time. Last season, Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, they didn't really have an affinity with the players, but this season the players do. So I suppose if we want to look at any positives, and here I am, positive queen, the players enjoy working under Poch. And another thing I would say is a lot of them are young and they haven't really played senior football. Like many of them are academy players, or they've come out from maybe one sort of year in senior football, so they haven't actually been managed. And I think that's actually really important because they don't necessarily have a lot of room for comparison, and it's not like they have a big comparison to make. Like big footballers that come in and have been coached by the greatest, they always have that comparison to make. But a lot of these young players, they're so raw. They look at Poch and they kind of do idolize him a little bit. It's hard to believe, but it's the truth.
What's next for Chelsea? Does anybody know? Patrick, what's next for you?
Tell me if you do.
I don't know.
Is in players? Is in managers?
No, is it like, okay, next season? What are Chelsea objectives? Like Should they just sell because not a lot of fans now and say, sell this, get us that, sell that guy, get rid of the coach, or keep the coach, keep the manager, sack the manager. What are the objectives next season? Like,
I think realistically, looking in objectively, if I'm just a neutral looking at Chelsea, I'd say try and get into Europe, so a top 8 finish minimum, bare minimum, and just solidify what they've been doing when they've been playing well. Because there was, like you said, up until the Arsenal game, Chelsea were on a decent run or decent patch of football. When they play good football, when they play well, you can see there's patterns of play. You can see obviously there is something bubbling in the background. But I don't know. Personally, Nina, for me, like looking at Poch now, he's a shadow of the guy that we all fell in love with at Tottenham. He doesn't look himself. He looks short of ideas. You know, he used to be someone high octane, pressing football, playing on the front foot, scoring loads of goals, defensively solid. I don't see none of that blueprint right now at Chelsea. And I know there's been a lot of injuries. I know he's not really had, I'm hearing that, I think Carefree Lewis told me that you guys have not had your strongest 11 out at the same time for at least 1 or 2 games. Like, so continuously, we've not had that flow of, you know, peak players. I don't know, but yeah, I see as well today a model that they're going to ban or bin this under 25s model and get some experience in. So that would be another key thing. But getting good experience, because the guys they've got now that are over 25, Raheem Sterling, Thiago Silva, they've not represented, have they? So it's about getting the quality and the right mix. You know, the thing
financially, they are in trouble, though.
Yeah, I don't know about.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they have to lower the wages by about 40%.
That's a big problem, then.
That's a massive thing. What are they going to do with all these guys?
Well, we're supposed to move some of the academy players on in summer. We're supposed to generate profit from them. But, you know, in terms of selling players, that's been a priority. And while we did get rid of a lot of the more experienced senior players that were just sort of like left over, hanging and needed to be moved on, we didn't really address the whole pure profit thing that's kind of been hanging for two transfer windows. But yeah, it does need to be addressed. And to be honest with you, the whole thing that's come out around we're scrapping the under 25 rule just tells me that the recruitment strategy was all wrong last year. So for me, this is all now coming out, you know, all the negative things and all the wrong decisions that were made sort of further above. Because Mo knows, like, we've had these conversations. I've always looked further above Poch, because Poch is just this small piece of the problem. But the thing at Chelsea is so much more bigger than just Pochettino. And the fact that all these new sort of strategies in the transfer windows are coming out tells me that the recruitment didn't really have a clear cut plan last summer, maybe even in January, just since recruitment changed, and especially since we brought new sporting directors in last year as well, that there's never been this clear cut plan. And while we did want to go in and bring all the shiny youngsters, or the ones that had good 2-3 games, or, you know, showed something really great on the pitch, and we wanted to just go and buy all of these youngsters for this project, well, yeah, okay, but then you sacrifice the actual experience and everything else that we needed. So now you're basically saying that you guys flopped with the whole recruitment strategy. So yeah, we're kind of going to be back at square one, because we are realizing now that, you know, some of these players aren't really that good enough. Like, that's also true. Yeah, like Pochettino, he can get his criticism. He deserves it, frankly. Particularly, like, I know, I'm sure we'll get into it. You're not going to let me go without talking about the Arsenal game, but, you know, that game in particular.
Look at Dio. He's waiting.
No, yeah. I agree with everything. I agree with everything she's saying. I mean, like, but I just wanted to point out that even with the bad recruitment, right, Chelsea this season has created a lot of chances, but never took their chances. Yeah, so that's not on Poch, and that's why I get mad at Chelsea fans who try to call out Poch alone. As bad as the boys are, as bad as we say these boys are not good enough, they've created so much, which means that Pochettino's style is working. Put away your chances. He's not going to get on the pitch and put the ball in the back of the net for you. He's put you in a position where you've played and created the chances. He's put a style in there. Even when he played people out of position, they still created chances. So my question is it Poch? No, it's the players and it's the management above. You get rid of that management above. Bring in the right. Yeah, bring it. No,
I disagree.
No. Here's what I'm going to like this. Think about it this way. If Poch is working with players that we say that are not good enough, they are not good enough, in quote, right? But they are creating a lot of chances based on the style that he's implementing with them. So they're not good enough. We agree to that. he's making them create a lot of chances that they are not putting away because they're not good enough. It means that his style is working. So give him good enough players in that same style that will put the goals in the back of the net. So the management above have failed him with recruitment, but he's working with what he has to create all those chances that nobody's taken. Because these players that the management brought are not good enough. That's all I'm saying. So is it really on Poch? I don't think so. I think it's unfair when I hear people say it's on Poch.
He got rid. Nina goes to the games, Dio. He actually completely got rid of the style of play that he started the season with. In the beginning of the season, he was like, let's control the position. Let's just play our football, control the position, smother the opposition, right? And then we try to create chances. And then he collapsed under pressure. He's like, no. Let's play counter-attacking football. Let's not control the ball. Let's try to play transition-based football. Which one? This is why in the beginning of the season, I used to be on the camp when I defended Poch. I said, context out of the way when you're 10th in the league. But lately, in the second half of the season, the guy completely abandoned everything that as Patrick said. He stopped being that guy, the progressive coach that they hired. He stopped being the guy that wants to press. He stopped being the guy that wants to have the ball. He's like, he basically surrendered to the idea that it doesn't matter how I play. I want to get the result. I don't care.
That's it. He succumbed to the pressure. And unfortunately, football, as you know, is a pressure cooker. At the top jobs, the big jobs, you don't get the time. And obviously, Chelsea have come out numerous times and said they will back him. And he's still here right now. But there's murmurs and rumors that in the summer they may look to reappoint somebody, and no one knows what's really going to happen. But unfortunately, as we all know, you don't get the time, and the results haven't been great. The performances haven't been great. Obviously, certain players have shined, like Cole Palmer, Malo Gusto as well. But all in all, it's not been a successful season, has it? There's not really been many things Chelsea fans can get behind, and there's not really any like styles where you can say, this is what we're going to do next year. So it's a tricky one. It's a strange one as well, because like I said, like the Pochettino, I was really worried in the summer when you guys appointed him. I thought, you know what, Poch at Chelsea with unlimited funds, a good young core talent, and this and that, it's going to be problems for all of us. I understood and saw firsthand what he did at Tottenham. He developed a lot of players that none of us had even heard of at the time or even knew about, in terms of we didn't know how good they were going to be, like your Harry Kanes, your Dele Allis, your Heung-min Sons, all these players. Poch made them into the players they were. So I was thinking, with the talented crop of youngsters you have, and obviously the backing that we never got with Daniel Levy, you'd be a big problem. But for whatever reason, it's not really working out. But sometimes as well.
So that tells you something, Patrick. That tells you that at Tottenham, the crop of players or seeds that he had were the ones that, as soon as he started grooming them to the right thing, they were able to shine and blossom, right? That tells you that this crop of players at Chelsea are not good at all. Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. Unlimited funding, unlimited backing, yes, all that could be part of it. But if the player is not good enough, if Rasmus Højlund was in Chelsea, do you think he would have put away more chances than Jackson right now? Yes, 100%. I guarantee you.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's just swap players like for like. Look at Manchester United, low XG, but they score when they get their chances. Yeah. Chelsea, high XG, nothing to show for it. So my thing is, I can blame Poch for his part as a manager and as a coach and everything, and for the players to come out and say they back him, they like him, it means he's really managing them well. Now, maybe as inexperienced players, they like the fact that maybe he's a little lenient, he's soft, he's cool, he doesn't really put the hammer down on them, like a Mourinho. I don't think any of these boys will be saying they like him. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, maybe that's the thing, because they're inexperienced, they haven't really experienced other coaches as much. I can understand that, but my thing still is, you can see that Poch has the ability and the capacity to take young players and turn them something if the players themselves have something on the inside of them to give. How are you creating that many chances? Like, you don't understand. My brain, I looked at the XG one day and I was like, what is going on here? Like, this has got to be the Twilight Zone. If Sheffield creates that amount of chances, as terrible as they are, they will put it away. They will put it away. They're not creating that amount of chances. Chelsea is literally just, it's almost like they're just taking water and pouring it in a basket, because these boys are all baskets. They can't retain any water. So the thing is, give him some senior players, pop them in there, change a few things around, give him one more season and let's see what Poch does. Now, I'm not saying that because I want Chelsea to go down. No, I just feel like the blame that most people try to put on Poch they don't want to put on those players. Some of these players had not played. My Mudryk had only played, what, 50 odd games in Ukraine before they brought him. Enzo had played, what, 6 months in Benfica, went to the World Cup before they brought him. Like, let's be realistic. Let's just go back and look at the quality. Nkunku, Leipzig did great there, you know, one season. You brought him in, injury, boom. I mean, I believe Lavia is still there, right? I mean, we haven't even seen him.
That's not a real person.
He's not, yeah. For more than 30 minutes,
person, bro.
I saw he's a ghost. I mean, like, so
it's not a real person for real.
You know, so
there has to be something fishy about that. But go ahead, Darius.
Yeah. So my thing is, at the end of the day, Poch has his part to play. We can put that blame on Poch. He has his part to play. But the truth is, these boys are not good enough. They're not good enough. Jackson against Arsenal, that ball where he could have just put his head to it, Raya would not have seen that ball. He brought his hand up. You are a striker. What are you? Are you a goalkeeper? What are you doing with your hands up? Why are you blocking your face from the ball? Like, you're in front of goal. You should use your nose, your ear, whatever you're able to use to just roll that ball in. Just roll it in. At this point, what is this? Like, so they're not good enough. And that can't be on Poch. You can't. A manager can only coach his styles to a level where you then have to implement it and make it happen. If you look at Arsenal's style of play, we know that Odegaard starts the press. When Odegaard starts the press, Havertz follows suit. Everybody else starts to drop to the middle. Just watch Arsenal. Once Odegaard starts, it's Havertz. If it's not Havertz, it's Jesus if he's on the pitch. There's a style to the manager can only coach that. Now, if the players don't do it well enough or they miss half a yard and the other team gets the ball and they counter us and they score, that's on them. That's on the players. You've coached the style, you've coached a system that creates so many chances, yet nobody is able to take it. So, yeah, the players are not good enough for me. That's it. Like, they're nowhere near good enough.
Well, if we actually had players that could finish their chances, I firmly believe we would be in an FA Cup final right now, actually, because, again, that Manchester City game was reinforcement. Like, that game, I can actually say that Poch set us up right, pretty much, against Manchester City and in the semi-final, and the players didn't do a job. Like, Nicholas Jackson probably frustrated me the most he has ever this season in that game, because literally 2 chances in quick succession in the second half, first half as well, and they're literally on a silver plate. And I always say you don't even need to be a striker or a world-class number 9 to finish some of the chances that he's missed. So while I cut him some slack, and look, the thing is with Nicholas Jackson, I think there's a player in him. He's a good footballer, don't get it wrong, but he's not a forward that's going to score you 20 plus goals a season. And I think we've gathered that. And again, this is where I will look at recruitment, because when they saw Jackson balling out in preseason, you know, scoring, and Nkunku was a big part of that. That's where we're talking about that style of play that Poch managed to unlock in preseason, that, you know, Nkunku was a big part of. Essentially, we pretty much built the squad around him in preseason with Jackson and Mudryk playing around him, Carney, Chukwuemeka, and it all worked really well. But like, Mo, you're right. As soon as that all collapsed, a couple injuries, and Poch basically said, well, you know, Nkunku was that player. Now we can't really play anymore. Like, where's the style? And now he's pretty much doing the same thing with Cole Palmer. You know, apparently he's saying that Cole Palmer is the link to the team, which, yeah, he is, because we literally are Cole Palmer FC at the moment. But, you know, you got to be better than that, Poch. We've spent so much money, and there's no way that we still look like we have no identity on the pitch. And I get that we have injuries and we've not had a consistent starting 11. We only had 2 fullbacks on the pitch in 2024 this season. So, you know, there's been a lot of those things, but the way that he set us up against Arsenal, he set us up to fail. I know we weren't favourites and I didn't expect us to win that game, but I certainly didn't expect us to get thrashed, embarrassed, dismantled, and look like we do not know what we were doing. Because to me, the team I saw against Arsenal on Tuesday was not a coached team. We didn't look coached. So it's always this thing where you do kind of question, you know, what is the manager doing with these players? You know, how is he coaching them? Because yeah, while they may not all be Premier League level players and they may not all be good in years to come, I certainly still don't think that he's managed to get the best out of them, and that's just obvious because yeah, you know, we've seen it. I
said many times, there is no contest when you're 5 months tense. It's not, like I don't believe that if I'm considering myself a big club, sitting 10th or 9th for 5 months, context out of the way. The reason why the manager has to go, and I said that to you, Nina, many times, is that I cannot change the whole team and I cannot change the board, right? Yeah. Like the board, they own the club, right? And the players are the assets. The only thing that can change is the coach. So they have to change him. Listen, if he gets 7th, I still think he didn't overachieve, didn't underachieve. I think this is where the level of these players, in hindsight as well. But I believe that the problem for me is that I believe Chelsea are in big trouble and you might not come back soon. When I mean come back soon is might be something that you don't know when are you going to come back from in terms of like challenging. You might be 6th, 7th, 8th for like a couple of years before you can actually be back. And you might not be back because of the financial situation, right? Are these players going to be good? And I believe that when a club doesn't challenge for a while, the players' values and quality go down. What I mean quality, look at Manchester United players. On paper, names-wise, they might be all right. But because they haven't been coached well and they haven't had stable environment, the quality of Rashford went down significantly since he came up from the academy. Like Rashford was considered a very, very good talent. He's not. The likes of Kobe Mainoo, if he stays in that environment and Man United don't fix up, his quality will go down. Because I believe you develop every year. And if Chelsea doesn't fix up, I believe you can fall down you can fall down in the Premier League to like be a 7th or an 8th club. Like what I mean is that you can be just a mid-table club. And I know that a lot of people talk about the money. It's not only about the money. The environments need to be fixed. And the environment isn't fixed because the direction is, HUSAM just told me yesterday, the ginger, the kid that played for Brighton yesterday, he was linked to Chelsea in the winter. Really, another youngster? You're going to buy another youngster? So you got rid of Lewis Hall to buy another guy from Brighton? That doesn't make any sense. Listen.
Yeah, Mo, don't you get it? We have a thing for Brighton staff, players, managers.
It doesn't make any sense to me how. It's not working.
But Mo, can I ask this question though? Because I've seen a Chelsea team that plays badly, but then certain players play right. Gusto, Palmer. So they're all being coached by Pochettino. Why is it that some players get it on the pitch? You can point at their talents, but they get it because you see that they're playing exactly how they're supposed to play and they make things happen. It just means the other players are not good enough. That's the way I see it. Because these guys are all coming out from the same team. It's like you see Gusto playing, you see Caicedo being decent here and there, off and on. You see Palmer, and just like and here's the thing: in any role that Palmer plays, either as a 7 or as a 10, he's always performed. So my question is, the coach has put a system in place where he's able to move these players around, and particular players are able to perform because they have capacity and ability. Others don't. They don't. Like Enzo on his own is useless in that midfield. Without, he needs someone that's like a destroyer around him for him to be able to function. But if you move Enzo and ask him to play with somebody who's not a destroyer, he just doesn't know how to. So these players don't have the capacity. They are just not good. That's the way I look at it. Because there are other players in the team who are moved around by this same Pochettino in a system, and it works. Those players play. You see how good they are. It's not just about their talent. It's because, okay, they have the capacity to be able to step into what the manager has asked them to do, and they do it, and they get it done. Meanwhile, the other guys don't have the capacity. So, yeah, you just need to get rid of the guys who are not good enough. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, we can get rid of the manager too, but the truth is, whichever new manager you bring in is going to bring in a new style.
And the market stinks as well in terms of managers. The market stinks as well.
Exactly.
But,
I love my club, but how do we look appealing to a manager right now? Even so, when they see what the style continues to be with managers at Chelsea,
good money.
Yeah,
good money. You guys have it now. You have it. Todd Boehly has all the money.
Frankly, some managers actually like their sanity and like to be appreciated and get on and have some agency at a club, and they're not going to get that at Chelsea. So there's no way. But yeah, look, I hear you. And to be fair with you, I would actually give Cole Palmer more credit to himself as a player and how much talent he has than Pochettino actually unlocking a lot out of him, to be honest. I saw that player at Man City. He scored in a couple finals for them as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cole Palmer is someone that's just so brilliant on every level, and I think he can thrive in any team, in any system, under any manager. And he is just in that caliber of players. And the thing is, and the problem is that you obviously can't expect him to you know, to get you out of every game. And you can't expect that when you've spent so much money and you've brought in, you know, so much talent. And yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. Like, we really are Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer is good enough. He has capacity to do whatever. If I coach a team of 11 Cole Palmers, I probably could win the league. And and I know nothing about coaching. That's how terrible. But that's what I'm saying. The other players are not good enough. You see, Patrick. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's just it's like Palmer has it.
Yeah,
Gusto
it's hard to compare everyone to Palmer though, because if you look at
I mean, like, look at Gusto.
Palmer's an elite player.
I mean, look at Gusto, for example. Gusto has it. You can tell.
Yeah,
like
he's good.
when
it is a stretch a little bit, Patrick.
No, he's got it. Like,
is a stretch.
He's got it.
When I say elite, I say elite for like basically his first full season, brand new team, brand new manager. He's performing at an elite level. 100%.
I like Cole Palmer. If Cole Palmer does this one more season, Patrick,
yeah,
bro, this guy is gonna be a star.
No, right now, Cole Palmer is performing at an elite level. Yes, it's early days in his career. Yes, it's his first season, but let's not take away from what he's doing. He is performing at an elite level. The numbers are insane.
Are you afraid for him? Are you afraid for him? Are you afraid for him?
What if he stays at Chelsea?
Yes. Are you afraid for him? If this guy he brought up on Man City winning mentality. We have seen the guys at Man City talk about how they installed the winning mentality in the academy and how they train them. Are you afraid for the guy staying 1 year, 2 year, not challenging, and then he start to be someone who is just another Eze? Eze was a fantastic footballer.
Yeah, but I think Cole Palmer, if push comes to shove and Chelsea is still doing the same thing or 2 or 3 years, he'll push for a move and he'll be good enough to attract attention from whoever. He'll obviously run down his contract and push for a move. So I wouldn't say I'm afraid. Probably, like you said, his mentality is different because he's been coached and come up around winners. Eze's probably leaving in the summer as well, so he's probably on his way out. So these guys aren't silly.
Patrick, you're right. But if you stay in a place 2-3 years and your morale just dips by a little bit, because nobody's mind is made of steel or lead. Like, it's not no, because honestly, if you think about it, right? If you think about it, it's almost like there's many elite players, strikers that have gone to die at Chelsea. Let's be honest. Like I can run through a list of at least 9.
No need.
Yeah. Like that's how. But the thing is, it's because of the culture. And Arsenal was that club too. We had that nonsense culture. Ozil, we talk about Ozil like he played something at Arsenal. Ozil was way better before he came to Arsenal. He didn't really perform at Arsenal. He did well, but we killed him. Arsenal killed Ozil. We killed Alexis Sanchez. We used them. Podolski, another good striker that could have thrived, could not thrive under us because of the way the club was. Until that culture was changed, now you're seeing players that are not even good enough thriving because the culture of mentality is different at Arsenal now. You're seeing players who you would normally not attribute to anything per se. Be like, okay, this guy is really, they call them Odegaard a Real Madrid reject. We see him thriving now because of the culture and the mentality as well. And because he also has capacity and the skill set. You know, so all I'm saying is, I think that if he stays there too long and they're not challenging and they're not winning, yes, he might push for a move, but hopefully it's not too late where he's already slightly cracked. You know, it's like boom. Because at that point, if he then goes to a team where there's a lot of top players, he just becomes one of them now. So he's no longer a star. He's no longer the main guy. They can bench him. They can, now entirely you just see that the player just changes. You know, so
that's what he was like City, because obviously he was saying, he basically asked Pep, will I get, guaranteed game time? And Pep was like, I can't guarantee you that. You know how it works here. Hence why he moved. So you're right, he'd be going back to that. But I do think, it's so early. He's 21. He's got more than enough time. And I do think it's a bit different with him because he's already come up through an elite mentality. He's already been coached by an elite coach. He's had world-class players around him day in and day out. So I do think it's a bit different for him. But I do hear what you're saying. What you're saying does make sense. Interesting.
Moving on from Chelsea a little bit. I don't want to touch on the Arsenal game, to be honest.
Thank you.
Well, you lost 5-0, so
I was there. I saw. Thanks.
North London derby, though. Another London derby. Spurs, Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans are so confident.
I know.
A lot of them, bro. I was talking to a lot of Arsenal fans. They're like, they're very confident as it's just a walk in the park. And I'm like, you guys should be a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, it's funny because I know so many Arsenal fans that are hitting me up, super confident, and a lot of our fan base are really scared right now. They're really worried.
Okay.
So to be fair, yeah, Arsenal seem to be the team that everyone is backing to win it. No one's really giving Tottenham a sniff, but I like it that way because usually in these kind of games, when someone's such an underdog, it should be good for us to spring a surprise. We just need to play to our capacity, like you guys keep saying, capacity level. Like the last game against Newcastle, we were absolutely awful. That's the worst I've seen us all season. Fulham away was another shit show, another horror show. You know, so we've had these really bad games in succession, so to speak. So this game at home, massive derby, you know, the guys need to show some fight and some pride. We've still got something to play for if we can string along some wins. Obviously, we've got some big games.
Yeah, you need a favor from Chelsea as well, playing Villa.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone favours this season, so join the party. Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, relying on Chelsea right now is never going to work, in it. Like, in terms of
no, I'm
Chelsea
telling you, this game is what Chelsea. This game is what Chelsea gonna win the game away at Villa. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I have the feeling that Chelsea would actually win the game.
Yeah, when there's no pressure or no thing on them to turn up, yeah, and Villa have all the pressure on them, so Villa will have to, you know. So hopefully. But going back to our game. Yeah, it's you know, I've been on Twitter trying to basically pump up our fan base and tell them to believe. And yeah, there's a lot of scared people, a lot of worried Tottenham fans right now. For me, I just think the mentality starts with the fan base as well. And what you know, the energy and the nerves that you bring into the stadium and even before the game, that's going to transcend and transpire onto the pitch. So I'm like, believe in the team, get behind them. Like some of our fans are talking like we've got no hope whatsoever. I'm like, wow, if Everton...
This is very strange, from title contenders to no hope.
It's crazy.
From title contenders to no hope,
even,
bro.
You know, even when we were doing well, I never thought we were title contenders. But like I said, Timo, and I've been saying to everyone, I definitely thought we had a chance to get in the top four. We still do have a chance to get in the top four. But we just got obviously...
Are you hopeful? Like, do you think?
Yeah. I think we'll win. Obviously, it's going to be hard, and we've got to play to our absolute best, and we've got to basically do what we haven't done in a while and actually defend well, play on the front foot. But we know that we're more than capable of doing this. But obviously, adding some passion. But the fans also have to believe. It has to be, you know, we're at home. We have to be the 12th man. We have to really get behind the team. But yeah, I do think we're going to win. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I believe in it. If I don't believe, and this is what I've been saying to people, if I don't believe in my team and I don't think we've got a chance, why am I even going to the game? The day I start feeling like that is the day I quit being a fan. I'm sorry, because even when I looked at the Coventry versus Manchester United game on the weekend, fans traveling all the way from Coventry against Man United, a team that are obviously way better.
Well, that's Man United.
But 3-0 down. And the fans still got behind their team and believed, and they almost did it. So if we are then thinking that we can't beat Arsenal, I think it's a weak mentality. It really is. And you know, people are saying, "Oh, you got to be realistic." I am being realistic. Any team can beat any team if they turn up on their day. Arsenal have lost to teams that are worse than us this season, so it's more than possible. But obviously, it's a tall ask. Arsenal are a very good team. But I still, like I said, the day I stop believing in my team is the day I stop going to games. That's how I feel. Anyway.
Can I ask Dio a question? How far are the teams apart, Dio? Hindsight now, we watch the season, we watch how Spurs play, we watch how Arsenal play. How far are they apart?
I think in the midfield, there's a big difference in the midfield. The midfield three that we have now, as compared to that midfield. If we're saying as a team as a whole, I think there's a big gap between how we play and how they are. Like where we're at and where they're at. But I want to dispel a talking point here that Arsenal fans, most Arsenal fans are confident. No, 7 games to the end of the season. If you asked any Arsenal fan, where did you think Arsenal could drop points? They'll tell you Chelsea, they'll tell you Tottenham, and they'll tell you Manchester United, because those were away games. I mean, Chelsea was a home game for us, but away to Man U, away to Tottenham, always been difficult. And history shows that up until last season, we hadn't beaten Tottenham at their stadium. Up until last season. Last season was the first time we beat you in like 9 games, I think. So there's a history to that already, that we already know. Having said that, if we're looking at current form right now, I think this is the best time to play Tottenham. With the injuries that they
Didn't
have.
we just win again? Didn't Arsenal just win against them last season?
That's what I'm saying. Last season was the first time. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying last season was the first time we beat them at the stadium in a very long time.
They played us off the park as well.
Yeah.
That was the game. Sorry to interject, Dyer. That was the game where I really awoke to how good Odegaard was. Obviously, watching him live in the flesh, and none of our players could get near him, and the guy was pulling strings, controlling the ball, dictating play, and he scored like a wonder goal from like way.
You have Maddison now.
Yeah, we have Maddison. Hopefully he can turn up. This is a game where I really need to see Maddison come to life again, because as you guys were all, if we're being honest, since he come back from the injury, he's not been at the level he was before the injury. But like Sunday's a time for it's a chance for a clean slate. A lot of these guys need to show me something. The guys that have not really been at it, Son, Maddison, defensively, keep a clean sheet for in the blue moon. The midfielders, like Dyer was saying, our midfielders are chalk and cheese. These guys need to come to life. Basuma, whoever's playing there, Sarr,
I don't know what happened to these guys, to be honest. I don't know what happened to this. They started the season on fire, but then
it's a mixture of a lot of things.
No, it's the high line for life. I keep telling you guys, high line for life. Look, high line will destroy your confidence. Let me tell you why. Look, a lot of people think that look, Postecoglou, Ange I like his style, but that style is very prone to you conceding goals. I'm probably losing the game at the end of the day, even though you played very well. You scored your own goals, and then just last minute, because you played another high line, somebody drops in at the back, scores, they win, boom. That destroys confidence of teams, man, over the season. Because when you sit down and look back at games that you could have run away with, if you had just dropped back and defended for just 8 more minutes instead of trying to play high line for life, like you just dropped your own confidence level. And in every game, that confidence, and remember, all these teams have been playing we're in week 30, 35, 36, week, whatever it is. Fatigue has kicked in for everybody. People have been playing this week in, week out. So not only are you discouraged as a player because the style that you guys are good at has caused you certain games that would have put you right now sitting in top 4 easily, but you're now fatigued as well at the end of the season, and then you're not asking me to give 110%. Mentally, physically, a lot of these guys are not even with Arsenal, and it's the truth, it's the same thing. Play well against Liverpool in the FA Cup, get knocked out of the FA Cup. Play well against West Ham takes 2 goals. Aston Villa, I believe in that game we could have ended it on a draw, but because we made our stupid, silly mistakes, it cost us the game. So my thing is, at the end of the day, when you look at these teams, you have to also put into context all of that, right? So yeah, but when it comes to this North London derby, like I said, we haven't beat you guys up until last year at your stadium. I still call it White Hart Lane. I don't know what you guys call it, whatever you call it, but
it's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
No, it's White Hart Lane to me. It's still the Shite Hart. It's still the Shite Hart Lane.
White Hart Lane's cool.
Well, we're coming back there again this year, and I think momentum is on Arsenal's side. I think the boys are confident now. I'm like I always say, this is still a derby. I can banter and diss Tottenham and all that, but the truth is, the big deal is now I'm no longer afraid of Tottenham at their stadium like we used to. I respect you at your stadium and respect what Ange is possibly able to bring, to the table, but I'm no longer afraid of you at your stadium. So
I don't
me,
think,
so
I don't
so
think
for me,
you guys were ever afraid of us.
no. Let me tell you this. Patrick.
Usually has the advantage.
Patrick, 5 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago, 6 seasons ago, like I kid you not, talk to any Arsenal fan going to White Hart Lane, we hated it. I hated it. Let me speak for myself. Let me not speak for everybody since they're all not here. I used to be like, this is just crap. Like, no matter how badly you guys are playing, you always beat us. Like you guys could have lost 4 games back to back. It didn't matter. The minute we showed up there, slap. I was like, even last season when we actually won 3-1, 2 days after, I still sat down, went back and watched the game, and I was like, let me be sure that we won this game. Maybe I just want to be very sure that the FA is not going to come and say, we're taking away the 2 goals, it was a draw or something stupid. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And
let me do this.
That's why.
Let me do this couple of and then ask Nina about her opinion in this. Akil is saying no Arsenal fan should take this game lightly, please. Yes, and Tevin is saying I don't know who you spoke to. Most of us are not confident. You just sent that super chat where Dio is saying, I'm no longer scared of Spurs. So that's your answer right there. Victor is saying, I don't know any Arsenal fan. Here you go. There's one on the panel. Is very confident of this match. Nobody's going to say we're going to smash them, but a lot of people are confident. In all my years, I've seen enough crazy stuff. North London Derby for me to be humble. Big up Dio. UB.
Egbon.
I don't know what
that's
means.
That's a Nigerian.
That's a Nigerian thing for sure.
That's my language. He says you be Egbon. That means that like you're a big brother.
A lot of listen. When I'm saying a lot of Arsenal fans are confident, they are more confident than the years before.
Oh,
the reason why they are playing very good football at the corner. Yes, they lost to Villa, but at the end, Arsenal play very good.
Don't forget that one. Put that one in there, please. And Bayern Munich.
And Bayern Munich.
I know it's not the Premier League, but it's still a loss. So yeah,
it's a loss. But they are playing. And I'm gonna ask Nina, do you think Arsenal play the best football in the league?
Play currently?
Yes. Yeah. Over the past like 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
Do you believe they deserve to win the league?
I knew you'd ask me that question. Yes. So your question, do they play good football? Yeah, of course they do. They didn't even play their best football against us to win 5-0, by the way, on Tuesday. But yeah, that's besides the point. But for the North London derby, I think emotions are going to run high for this one. And I actually don't think it's going to be as simple as who's been in good form and who's been, winning games. I think Arsenal have the advantage of really good momentum in recent time. Now it really is eyes on just one trophy. Champions League is out the door. So, but, that being said, Tottenham also have an incentive on the line. And, you guys will look at our game with Aston Villa. On paper, it's easier for Aston Villa to get points against us than it is you guys getting points off Arsenal. So if you're looking at it in that side of things, then you are equally up for that game, in my opinion. You've got the advantage of being at home as well. I think you're going to make it intimidating. It will be a hostile environment as well for Arsenal to come to. But I think for Arsenal, one thing they're doing better this season than they were last season is managing games better over the course of 90 minutes. And, you guys now have your dream midfield that you've been waiting for all season. Obviously, with Partey back, that's going to be a big advantage. And if you're putting that up against Tottenham's midfield, which hasn't perhaps been as strong as it was when it started off this season, I think that's also a bit of an advantage. But I think it's not as simple as Arsenal playing their best football and they're going to go and get the win easily. I still think, though, that Arsenal do win, but I think it's going to be a fine margin. I think there's going to be some controversy, but I just don't think that Spurs will get thrashed. I don't think they will be outplayed massively. And I just think that, I could be wrong, I just think that it will be a slimmer win. And I think Arsenal, the Arsenal fans I've spoken to aren't actually that confident for this one. And I think it's because they know, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is a tough place to go to. And it's always hardest when you're so close and, you've got now, 3 games more in front of you to go and win the league. And, Man City look like they're not dropping any points. So for Arsenal, it's definitely a bigger must win. But I think Spurs equally, with emotion and everything in the top 4 spot, are going to want it more. But yeah, on paper, you'd say Arsenal, but because of emotions and everything, at the end of the day, we all know that form doesn't always matter in a London derby because of everything it brings around that game. But yeah, I'd still give it to Arsenal, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them.
If you don't make Champions League, Patrick, would you be disappointed this season? You aren't getting 5th place, don't get Champions League. Halas, it's done. It's over for the Premier League.
Yeah. This is a good question. And
would you say from where you were in the first 10 games or 12 games or something, do you say it's a failure?
It's not a failure. Like, I look at this with two viewpoints. So before the season started, I never envisioned us to finish in the top 4. I didn't envision us to finish in the top 6. I had us 9th for my predictions, which I did in August. Now on all the pods and all of that, you can go back and check it, or I've got my blue book. I could show you.
We believe you. We believe you. We believe you.
I predict us to finish 9th. Obviously, after 12 games, 10 games, we looked fantastic, and I changed my predictions, and I predicted us to finish in the top 4. I predict us to finish 4th. So when you've been in and around, and even when we fell off, we were still in and around 4th for a long time. We're 5th now. We've never dropped lower than 5th in the league. So the fact that we've been there or thereabouts all season, I would be disappointed from that standpoint. But then when I look at Ange Postecoglou's first season, all the teams that are, if they finish above us, their managers have been there a lot longer. They're more solid. They're more set in their period or transition or whatever you want to call it, in their phase, so to speak. And I look at the context of the season, the injuries, the this, the that. So of course it'll be disappointing because, you know, at the minimum, a big club always wants to finish in the top 4. But then I understand that it's a rebuild. I understand everything that's gone on. But the disappointing thing for me is that, like you alluded to, I think it was Dio alluded to, for me, my biggest bugbear when I sit and watch us week in and week out is Ange's stubbornness to not change tactically, even in games. He doesn't manage the games well. There's times when you can clearly see that it's not working. Just drop that deeper a little bit, change things up. We play the same way in every single game at every single moment. So we're easy to play against because we're easy to defend against because you know what we're going to do. And he needs to tactically change it and tweak things up a bit. And the counter argument can be for this is that when we went to Villa Park away against Unai Emery, who tactically is a very good manager, he overanalyzed it and changed his team too much, and we ended up smashing them 4-0. But usually, Unai Emery does tweak his team to whoever he's playing against, and he usually gets the better of his opponents. But you've seen a lot of managers get the better of us recently. You know, the Fulham manager, Bournemouth, Wolves twice. You know, a lot of teams are sussing us out, and that's because Ange doesn't change things. It's very easy and predictable. So from that standpoint, I am disappointed because at this stage of the season, I would have thought he would have had some sort of flexibility. He doesn't, and this is one of the reasons why in the summer, when he was, you know, tipped to be appointed, I didn't want him because I said it and I called it out and I said every time he played in a Champions League game against a bigger team, they always ended up getting smashed because he played the same style of football and was very naive. Celtic against Real Madrid, for example, you'll see how he played. It was suicidal and they ended up getting battered. And we've done that in certain games, you know. So, I don't know. I just need
Do you
to
know
see
why I asked you that question? Do you know why I
yeah,
asked you that question,
go.
Patrick? Because last season when Arsenal failed, you called them butlers and all the stuff. Well, nobody predicted them, but nobody predicted them to actually challenge for the season.
No. They were there all season. And last year, if I'm, you know, obviously I'm a Spurs fan, so there's always going to be a bit of tongue in
banter
cheek,
and
a bit
stuff.
of banter. But if I take my Spurs hat off and look at it just objectively, last year Arsenal were the best team in the league, hands down. They should have won the league, but they fell apart at the back end of the season because they did succumb to the pressure. They did, you know, bottle it. They did. Let's have it right. This year it's different. If they don't win it, fair enough. They've been there or thereabouts all season. Liverpool have put a good fight up. Man City have been phenomenal. But last year, Arsenal were clear. Like even Haaland had an interview on Sky Sports and he said literally Arsenal were top of the league for like 300 odd days and we're top of the league for 20 days and we win it. It was absolutely insane how they fell off. They did bottle it last year. This year's different.
Okay, can I, Patrick, let me address this last year thing. And this is the part that really that I don't get. I don't get this part. No, honestly, genuinely, like my brain tries to connect it because at the beginning of the season, nobody gave us the chance to even be top 5 or top 6. Hold on. I'm going somewhere. We started playing well during the season, and everybody said, yeah, it doesn't matter. They're still not going to win. Man City is going to win the league. Everybody said this all through. It didn't matter if we were 10 points ahead, 20 points ahead. Everybody said Man City was going to win the league. So my question was, we've already tipped Man City to win the league. And then Man City goes ahead and wins the league, and then you say Arsenal bottled it. We can only bottle it if you said we were going to win the league, and then we did not win the league. No. So that's where. So for me, the banter, I get it. Rival fans want to say you were at the top. You could have held your position. This was a team that just because we lost a couple of players to injuries, we collapsed, and that's how weak the team was then. We needed to build more spine. Saliba lost, and we played Rob Holding. Rob Holding that has gone to Crystal Palace hasn't played one full game for them since he left Arsenal. That's who we had last season, remember? So my thing is, if you're going to say we bottled something, you're basically saying we were the better team and we had to win it. You're admitting to that. Then you can say we bottled it because you know what? You were supposed to win it. You were a better team, but you did not do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
then I'll take the bottling. But you cannot say out of one breath, Man City are going to win the league anyways. But because you guys are top, you bottled it. The banter doesn't sit well for me.
I hear what you're saying, but to flip that, you were in an advantageous position for most of the season. It was in your hands. You had to jump on them. You had a clear points gap. If you would have just won one of those games where you ended up drawing, obviously beat us, whatever, you would have won the league. So in that sense, you did bottle it. Yes, you weren't the favourites, but going into the end of the thing, you were because you were clear of them. But
that's what I'm saying.
But context is key, which is the injury of William Saliba. This is something to be taken against them, that you didn't buy the sufficient replacement for one of your main center backs or one of your main players, right?
Of course.
I know Nina has to go as well for in about 10 minutes or something like this. I want to just ask her before we go on to this more a little bit. We're going to stay like 15 more minutes or something. The Aston Villa versus Chelsea game. What do you think about this game?
I mean, we won there once this season in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think we'll win this game. I don't have hope anymore. I think it's, for me, Chelsea this season, watching them from now on, it's basically like 20% chance, 8% hope. Like, that's it. That's just literally it.
Vibes FC.
Just vibes, yeah. Like, I love my team, I love the club, and I still go to every game, but I don't expect anything. I don't have like high hopes. It is what it is. My goal for the rest of the season is to give Thiago Silva the best send-off he deserves, because he's a king. And frankly, no matter how crap this season and last season have been, he deserves to leave on a high. But look, the thing is with us, you just don't know what you're expecting. And that's it. You know, Mo, you said at the start of this video that we don't really have a playing style, and it's basically, you know, remember when you asked me like last time we spoke what our style of play was, and I told you freestyle? It still is, because we don't actually have this identity on the pitch. We don't actually
used to. That's what baffles me. In the beginning of the season, Chelsea had a style of play for a long time.
We did, and then Nkunku got injured, and Poch lifted his hands and went, I don't know what to do anymore, actually. And yeah, look, that's just the thing. The style of play is Cole Palmer, okay? That's the style of play. And even like Manchester United, like I look at that game at home, it was 4-3, but that was a 2-0 lead that we had for about 40 minutes in that game. And then we were fighting for a point at home 90 minutes in, with like 5 minutes of injury time to go, 7 maybe, and came out on top. And this is the thing, this is a pattern all season. We know we've won games, but it's been jammy, or we've lost games and we should have won those games. And it's just this whole thing where we never know how we're getting set up, and then we don't know what to expect. So I guess from an opposition side of things, it's actually quite good, because other managers don't know how to set up against us, because we don't really know how we're setting up as well until the actual day, because Poch likes to chop and change things every time. However, Aston Villa, like I said, they've got a bigger incentive on the line, and you know, frankly, they are actually playing with an identity in those games. They've got self-esteem to take from winning, you know, against top 6 teams this season. We don't have that under our sleeve. And yeah, frankly, we're playing up against a manager who's actually managed to implement something into his team since taking over. So the odds aren't in our favor. I hate going away to Villa Park. It's a scary place to go, and it's just not going to be fun. But I just want us to put in a performance. You know, our dignity's been stripped, thrown away, and it's been embarrassing. I just want us to put in a shift and at least try and play some sort of football. I think we're going to play the same lineup that we did against Everton when we won 6-0. Yeah, that's completely different, but at least we looked remotely cohesive on the pitch, you know. And who am I to say it was only Everton when Chelsea has not been competitive against even the bottom 3-4 teams this season? So yeah, I expect nothing. Just can we put in a shift? But I think we'll lose to Aston Villa in all honesty.
After all of this, we're just gonna lose to Aston Villa. Anyway, I know you have to go.
Mo, what do you want me to say?
Have some, like, it's good. It's not like
I never know. I don't do score predictions anymore.
Yeah. Forget that score prediction stuff. You know, listen, guys. Nina's channel is in the description, right? She puts content out majority of the games. She do match vlogs sometimes. She do match reactions on her channel. She puts out also Patrick's channel. He's getting back into it. Chatty Patty is there, of course. It's in the description. Go and subscribe to the guy. He's trying. And but guys, let's help these two guys. Amazing couple of guys. Of course, Nina trying to put content, Patrick as well. And Patrick is part of the Last Word of Spurs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Last Word on Spurs, Football Terrace.
Yeah.
Best of the rest as well with Saeed and the boys. So I'm on quite a few shows, but yeah.
So, but guys, if Nina has to go, we'll continue a little bit on the North London Derby. Appreciate you, Nina. Channel in the description. Thank you so much.
Come on,
good luck.
Up the Chelsea. We need you to beat Villa. Come on, let's do it.
Okay.
Up the Chelsea. Let's go.
Really? Off the shelves now. You want them to beat Villa?
Yeah. I mean, I was saying to Lewis for the greater good that we wanted them to beat you guys, but obviously that didn't work. So
it's not what greater good. What greater good are we talking about?
Yeah,
see,
like we can't see Arsenal win the Premier League.
No, this is the problem. But this is the problem, though. See, here's what I tell people. I'm like, take my fan hat off. Let's just take off all my support for Arsenal. Arsenal are playing like a team that want to win the league. Simple.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, take my hat off, take everything off. No, I mean, City is playing like a team that wants to win the league too. So if we're going to judge it just based on pure football and forget all the recency bias. Oh, let's look at last season, they bottled this, so that means they're bottling. No, let's just look at what they're doing and look at how they're playing. Forget all the recency bias, forget all the all the talk around, oh, well, City lost to Real Madrid. Maybe now they'll be on the losing spree. No, just looking at them game for game and how they're bouncing back and playing, they look like a team that wants to win. And that's the most important thing I can ask from my team. You go out there and play like you want to win it. And regardless of what happens at the end of the season, I can beat my chest. I know people will still come and banter me, but I can beat my chest and say every game that my team went into, they deserve to win it because they played well. The games they didn't deserve to win where they messed up, that's what's going to come back and bite them. So hey, taking away fan, and I said this, I don't know if it was you, I said it too, or I think it was you or Deji, when I said the way Andrew's playing in the first 10 games of the season, if your players didn't get injured and Ange could understand in-game management a little and just tweak a few things, and then this next in January buy, and then in this summer buy again, Tottenham look like an outfit. Take away my disdain for them. The way they play, they look like an outfit that can actually challenge next season if they do those three things. With that style and just being able to do in-game management, taking away just pure footballing abilities, looking at how the team plays, judging it based off those first 10 games, and them having the right key players on the squad.
Right. Yeah, if he gets it right.
Yeah. And that's so we can say those things based off of just football. Now, if you want to banter, we can banter.
When we're saying like you don't need to get like sensitive about it. When I say for the greater good, it's banter.
No, I know.
Obviously, it's not. Like I've said it. I mean,
for the greater good, you said what for the greater good?
Basically, that any team that Arsenal play, we need them to beat them.
Actually, Arsenal, we need to be all together for Arsenal to win the league. You don't.
Well, yeah, exactly.
The greater good of football, for the greater good of the Premier League. Arsenal need to win the league.
You got to remember, I live in Tottenham, surrounded by Arsenal fans.
You're
North London.
It's your fault that you didn't choose Arsenal Football Club.
No.
It's your fault.
I'm sticking to the stadium's 15 minutes from my house. There's no way I'm going to live right next to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and support Arsenal. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm joking.
But what I'm trying to say is for the greater good, we hate Arsenal fans. They're the loudest on social media. They're the most obnoxious. They're the most irritating. So obviously, even though I hate Chelsea, and even though Chelsea hate Tottenham, together collectively we can agree the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So yeah, it's all banter. It's all bit of fun.
Okay, so Patty. So Patty, let's do this, right? Let's do this for the greater good of football, right? Let's just listen to me. For the greater good of football in general, like just the history of it and everything. You should be supporting Arsenal to win because you don't want. Hold on. Listen, because you don't want. Because you don't want. Listen, hold on. Hear me out now. Give me my reason. Let me give you my reason.
I don't.
Let me give you my reason.
15 in a row, 16 in a row. You can call it the Farmers League Part 10. You can call it the new Bundesliga. I don't care. I just don't want to see Arsenal lift.
As long as this guy doesn't go to the grocery store and see an Arsenal fan.
Exactly.
That's all he care about, bro. As long as this guy doesn't go and buy food and the Arsenal fan next to him is bantering him, he's all right.
Yeah, I'll never get away from it. On my road, there's neighbors across the road. He watches all the podcasts and he's like, Jay, what's good? He's like, oh, 3 more games. No, I can't. I won't be able to leave my house. I'll be hiding all summer.
Oh man, no. But for the greater good of Tottenham's happiness, you want Arsenal to not win the league because that's going to make Tottenham happy. But for the greater good of football, and the football gods know this, which is why there's going to be a twist. there's going to be a twist and turn.
I don't like you lot, you know. I mean, not you personally. You're a cool guy. I like you, but there's a lot of fan bases.
Don't lie,
don't lie,
don't lie, don't lie, bro. Don't lie.
Bro, he's trying to cause some trouble. There's a lot of fan bases that don't like the Arsenal fan base because you guys are quite arrogant. You're quite obnoxious. You're quite entitled.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, I mean, having the third largest number of trophies in the history of football in England is not an easy feat. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's hard.
Here you go.
And you guys,
here we go.
And even though we hadn't won it in 20 years, nobody's still been able to catch up to the amount that we have. Talkers of catching up to Liverpool or Manchester United. Like, you had 20 years to get 20 trophies and surpass us. Nobody was able to do it. You know, so that can't be our fault. You can't put that blame on us now. You can't be like, oh yeah, you guys are entitled and arrogant. And by the way, your all of you, your evil juju that you put out while we got knocked out of the Champions League is the reason why you might not qualify. Because if you had hoped that we went to the semi-final, you'd have been in 5th position. And that would have allowed you to qualify. But because you guys wanted your own personal selfishness, which is good, we will now see you struggle to make top 4.
Villa, Villa went through, but West Ham
bottled it. Man City bottled it. Yeah, it's not.
You know, United and Newcastle didn't even make the group stages. It was done before it even started.
So hold on. Yeah, I like what Martin said here. You can't spell entitled without the word title. Are we talking about unbeaten title? Oh yes. Okay, actually yes. Carry on.
Oh, this invincible thing, bro.
I didn't say anything. I just said unbeaten title. I didn't say invincible.
I wanted to ask you guys about one thing because a lot of people, since I have a Spurs and an Arsenal fan here, right? Yeah. Odegaard and Maddison talk. Oh my God. Because you remember, Patrick, me in the summer, I'm the one who started this Maddison thing.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
And you got a lot of people don't know this. In July, right? And before the season started, I went on the football terrace on the top 6 and I said, by the way, I choose Maddison over Odegaard. And people were mad, especially after the brilliant season that Odegaard had last season. And I'm like, I think it's a conversation. I still think it's a conversation. Me choosing Maddison over Odegaard doesn't mean I don't like Odegaard. I would love to have both, if so. Of course, recency bias say that Odegaard has been absolutely brilliant lately, absolutely out of this world, in my opinion. And Maddison has really, really fell behind with the whole of the Spurs team, like same as Bissouma, same as Sarr, same as Romero, Van de Ven, for some reason. What do you stand on this, Patrick? Maddison, Odegaard? And before we go on to this, why did Maddison fall behind that much? What happened?
I think, okay, if we're being... Maddison we don't have any other creative player of Maddison's ilk. Maddison's been nursing an ankle injury. He's still not 100%. Obviously, he's had to manage the games, hence why you see him always getting taken off around the 60th, 70th minute. So he's not 100% fit. So he's playing on, you know, he's not there exactly, but he should be doing better than what he's doing, 100%. He's not been great at all. Obviously, the question right now, I'd be crazy if I didn't say Odegaard. Odegaard has been brilliant. But the funny thing is, Odegaard wasn't good for the first half of the season, but that was. And then Maddison's fallen off a cliff and Odegaard's gone like that. And now Odegaard is playing fantastic. So it's like chalk and cheese, depending on when you look at it. But Odegaard has been brilliant. I can't take that away from him. He's instrumental to what Arsenal do. At the beginning of the season, there was talks that, you know, Arteta tweaking the system. They're not the same. You know, you're winning games where you weren't free flowing, you weren't scoring a lot of goals. Something's changed. Odegaard's been basically the conductor. He's been at the helm of all of the good things that are happening. So right now, begrudgingly, I'd have to say Odegaard. But I still got faith in my boy Maddison. Give him a proper preseason, proper summer, and hopefully he can come back. The thing is, like I said earlier, every game is a clean slate and a chance to right your wrongs. This Sunday, Maddison's right there. Do it in front of everyone. At the Emirates, the away game, Maddison was fantastic. 2 assists, controlled the game, spun Saka, assisted Son, another assist, Maddison to Son. He was brilliant. I just need to see that sort of Maddison back. You know, he's on like 22 games, 9 assists, or 8-7 or 6-8 assists. So the numbers are okay considering, but watching the games, you can see he's nowhere near the level that you would want him to be and the level that we all know he can be.
As much as I wanna back, he's one of my favorite players, Maddison. As much as I wanna back him, I really want Arsenal.
No,
to
you
win
can't
this
back
game.
him. I'm not backing him. I'm saying he's not.
I want Arsenal to win the game, to be honest. Like I really,
no,
100%.
come on, get out of here, man. Get out.
Well, Patrick, you don't understand. Like, I really don't want Man City to win the Premier League.
Why not? You're an Inter fan.
I'm a content creator, Patrick.
Yeah.
And in the summer, if Man City win the league, the conversations are going to be dead. I'm being serious. And this is not because I hate Manchester City. If it was the other way around and a team that won the league three times in a row and Man City are battling them, I would have want Man City to win it. Like, it's pure because I want to see a new winner.
Yeah, but the argument is this year has been the most exciting Premier League in terms of the relegation scraps.
Yeah, but after all this exciting, Patrick, imagine if at the end, oh yeah, you challenge Liverpool, but the winner at the end is Pep and his Man City team at their worst season, and they're gonna go and spend 300 million in the summer. Okay, where do we go from here? That's my point. I get that you're a Spurs fan. But for me, it's not because I love Arsenal or I love Liverpool or anything. I don't like any. I don't care, to be honest. I want all the teams to lose, right? But in my opinion, I think logically, you need to have Arsenal. Of course, not you, but anybody that removes the tribal. We need to have a good conversation in the summer. We need to have Arsenal need to be starting in a better position. Like, we cannot have another season with the bookers are saying 80% Man City will win the league. And we sit here and hope and pray that another team challenge them. This is a testament. People think I'm hating Man City. It's a testament of how good Man City are. It's not a testament to anything other than that's how good Man City are. That in their weakest season, they're still the bookie's favorite. And there's still everybody's scared to say that anybody else will win it, bro. All season, a lot of people are scared to pick anybody else to win the league. So I don't want to have this conversation.
My thing is, I know that when Arsenal wins, the rest of the rivals are just going to go and hide this summer. I don't want to see any one of you online. If I see you online, I will spam your comments with trophy, just trophy. In fact, if I see any one of you online, and it will be good for content. Let's be honest, it'll be good for content as well. I mean,
fantastic.
If you're looking at it from other perspectives of not just being a fan of a club, and let me just take off my fan hat, and it will be good for content, and it'll be good for the game as well. Because the truth is, let's be honest, what is it that Arsenal is not doing? Right, they're doing everything that. We literally look at Aston and City vis-a-vis this season. City lost in the quarterfinal in the Champions League. Arsenal lost in the quarterfinal. Just before that, Arsenal had lost the game, right? Before that game, or was after that game we lost to Arsenal. But anyways, bottom line, we both lost in the quarterfinal. We both came and struggled against the next game that we played. Somehow we got a win. You could see both teams are struggling. And then in the next game, Arsenal goes on to win 5-0. City go on to win 4-0. So it just shows that both teams, taking off your fan hat and everything, both teams are gunning for this title. And of course, if I put my fan hat back, I'm glad that my team is there, and I'm definitely backing my team to win it. So so in the meantime, I'm also going to put some juju out there. Here's what's going to happen to the next couple of City games. City going to drop points. City going to drop points.
Bro, I said that against Brighton, and oh my god.
No. Brighton is not the one. Brighton is not the one. Let me tell you who they're going to drop points against, and it is my friend Chaddy Paddy here. You know why? Because we're going the goal difference. Let me tell you why. Listen, we're going to do a number on you guys on Sunday, right? After we do the number on you, whether it's 1-0 or 2-1, I'm not saying we're going to. If you hear me, I didn't say we're going to come slap you. I didn't say we're going to come trash you. I believe that my team has what it takes to come there and win. Because of that win, you guys are going to have to beat City to get into top 4. You literally know that you have to beat City, because even if
Patrick, that would be absolutely fantastic situation.
Even if Aston Villa and Chelsea, right? Even if Chelsea, that's what's going to happen. And
you put the scenario in Patrick's head. He's not going to sleep until the end of the season.
You guys are going to have to beat City to make top 4. You're literally going to have to.
I think I can speak for every Tottenham fan. We would forfeit top 4 for next season, being in Ange's first season, so Arsenal don't win the league.
Really?
Hand on my heart, I can tell you that. I will forfeit Champions League football to make sure Arsenal win the league. Who can? I've played in Champions League football time after time after time after time. It's not that illustrious for me to have that on my CV and see Arsenal win the league. I'm sorry, I'd rather.
Oh
not.
my God, Spurs are the reason. Spurs handed Arsenal the league title.
No,
Yeah,
but here's the thing, though.
I would.
Here's
For
the
me,
thing, though.
I would think the same as Patrick if it was my club. But the difference is I don't care like that much.
Yeah, of course. You don't have a dog in the fight.
No, like even if it was Juventus or Milan, it's not that. I don't know. Like it's different for you because you live there. You know, for you're different than me, and I have to admit that you live there, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna face this for a year until they lose it.
Mad, I can't do that. It's long.
Yeah, so don't worry. Yeah, because let me tell you what the thing is. Ange is going to, as much as Ange said, "Oh yeah, my aim is just to win. I don't care about top 4." All that nonsense he was saying. I know Ange was just chatting out of. He was just trying to give the press something to run with. Ange wants to make top 4. And Ange is going to do whatever it takes to make
100%.
top 4. And let me come and tell you, see, it doesn't matter what the fans say. We'd rather lose than allow Arsenal win. Ange is like, no, my job is at stake. If I don't push
team, as a coach,
so
he's a coach.
So as a coach, here's the scenario. Aston Villa, right, are going to beat Chelsea. So now you guys are like, damn, Aston Villa beat Chelsea. We are going to win. Whatever the scoreline is going to be, it will be. I'm not going to predict anything, but we are going to win. That pressure is now going to be on you, Tottenham, going forward. When you play
so
City,
funny if you don't win because you're so
when you play City. No. I said,
guys, remember in the chat when I said that Arsenal fans are confident, and people said, "Who are confident?"
No. There's a big difference. So listen, there's a big difference. I am confident that we're going to win because we are playing well and we have what it takes. I am not saying it's going to be an easy. No. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game.
Form goes out the window.
I agree. That's what I said.
Expectations. There's so much.
It's never going to. Patrick, it's not going to be easy.
You are very confident you're going to win.
I'm confident I'm confident we're going to win. It's never going to be easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be a derby like it always is. Something is going to come out. Somebody will get a red card. It might be us. It might be you. Something always happens in the North London derby. I know that. We're going to put in all that factor, but I know that we have what it takes. I look at my team and I say, even if we're one man short, which is not like this is a team, take my hat off as a fan. This is a team that has showed that they are willing to go the extreme to the last second to try to win. So for me, that's very key. I've seen you guys 1 goal, 2 goals down, and you fall off. I've seen Tottenham the players just hand it in,
it depends when. We're one of the teams that have come back, and I don't know the stats off top, but I know we are one of the teams in terms
for those of you who are anyway, long story, I'm just painting my own future scenario. My scenario here is
he's really living the dream. No,
we win. We win somehow, some way, whether we get a penalty in the last minute, and that's how we win. Whether or not your Vicario mistakenly looks to the side and backheels the ball into the net, I don't care.
Daydreaming, bro. Daydreaming for real.
My thing is, I don't care what the scenario is. I just know that I want 3 points from there, and then I want Aston Villa to beat Chelsea. So the pressure is now on you. So when you play City, my brother, and the day you play City, let me just say this to you: the day you play City, I'm an Arsenal fan through and through. I will be screaming for you. Literally, I will be supporting you to beat them.
Yeah, but because you don't care, because who cares if they make top 4 or not?
No,
you're cheering for them for yourself. Anyway, listen, I know we gotta go. Victor here is saying if a team, what did he say? If a team who couldn't qualify for top 4 previous seasons bottled the league this season, what will you call the team who beat us to top 4 the previous season and flopped? He's talking about Spurs. He's talking about you actually calling them bottlers, but you literally made top 4 and then you flopped the season after.
Yeah, we flopped. We didn't bottle it. We weren't in a position and then obviously handed it or gave it away or didn't. That's a completely different thing. Completely different scenario. So it's like, for example, if, I don't know, Man United were 3-0 up against Coventry, if they would have ended up losing that game, that's bottling the game, isn't it? They're a better team in advantage. It depends on the scenario. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But a nice try.
I agree with Patrick because Chelsea beating Tottenham to end their title hopes against Leicester with the highlight of our season that year.
That's funny. The Battle of the Bridge he's talking about, 2016. Yes. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. We were
That's a Leicester year, huh?
Yeah. So we bottled that game. We were 2-0 up. And then we ended up obviously drawing 2-2. That was crazy. Eden Hazard, I'll never forgive him for that. He was shit all year, and then he scores.
Oh my God, that is a banger, bro.
Yeah, that goal.
That right foot curler in the corner. Oh my God, bro. Insane. I know, but I don't think even if you won that game, you would have won the league.
Yeah, probably not. We were always chasing Leicester anyway.
Yes, you were always chasing, and they weren't going to lose.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But
Jimmy Vardy.
Listen, people. Patrick is Chatty Patty. It's the first something in the description, guys. Right? First thing in the description, guys. Patrick Tyrant channel. I hope that he gets about 50 to 100 subs after this show, guys. If you haven't subscribed to Patrick, absolutely brilliant content. Last word of Spurs, of course, as well. Patrick goes to all the games, does all the podcasts for Spurs, talks his talk, absolutely backs his team, but also very rational and a reasonable fan for Spurs. Dayo, if you guys have watched the intro, Dayo is the guy who made it. It's an absolute a piece of art. If you guys want anything, you can text me on Instagram, or also you can find banter on the pitch. And if Dayo, I'm gonna try to get his Instagram link, the channel. The channel. I thought is the channel active?
Yeah, it is active. I don't do live streams and all that. I just make content. Like,
what is it called?
Banter on the pitch.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna follow you.
Oh, so okay,
is that YouTube and Instagram or just YouTube?
No, just YouTube. I just do I just do crazy stuff. Like, for example, the last video I put up was about a month ago. On the Porto penalty for Odegaard, the speed of his penalty, how fast it was. And all that, being that the captain.
It's just spelled the normal way, yeah.
Banter on the pitch, yeah.
Okay, I am actually subscribed to the channel.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I am subscribed, and I'm gonna put it in the description as well, guys. And Nina's channel is there as well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, if you want any artwork, graphic, video editing, any audio stuff, he is your guy. Of course, he is someone who absolutely, that's his bread and butter. That's what he does all day. You can see the studio, how brilliant it is. So, guys, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Make sure to hit that like button. We passed 200 likes. We can get to 300 likes. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Appreciate you, Patrick, and appreciate you, Diane. Thanks to Nina who joined us. And we'll see you all soon tomorrow. All the games.